Today I'm going to attempt something that might sound a little intimidating or even scary to some of us. Escargot. Snails. But don't worry, these are not the garden variety snails that you find crawling on your lettuce. These are specially raised, well-educated, canned snails that are considered a delicacy in France and other countries around the world. They're usually cooked in a rich garlic parsley butter sauce and served in their shells or in a custom-made dish. They're supposed to be tender, juicy, and delicious. But are they really? Let's find out. Let's take a look at the really simple ingredients for this dish. The candles are lit, so you know it's something special. We're going to be using some garlic, shallot, plenty of butter, salt and pepper, parsley, and a can of snails. And not to forget, of course, a glug of wine. The oven's preheated to 400 degrees. That's good to go. We just need to prepare the garlic butter and chop the shallot. Alright, so we've got the outer skin off the shallot, and we just want a fine chop, a fine dice on there, so we're going to cut through the middle and then across the front, which will give us that nice fine dice that we're looking for. Perfect. Now the garlic. It's a lot of garlic, but this is a French escargot recipe, so what else can we do? We're going to continue on to a fine dice here, but I want to crush the garlic a little bit to get those oils flowing and all of the flavor out. That looks pretty good to me. Get the shallots in. You know, I was lucky enough to eat escargot on the Champs-Élysées in Paris a few years ago, and boy, was it delicious. I don't cook it enough, and I'm excited to see if this is going to turn out just as good as those Paris escargot. Next, we're going to finely chop the parsley. This is flat leaf Italian parsley. Tends to work good for this dish. It chops nicely and incorporates well. That's a good fine chop on the parsley. And now we get to use a kitchen tool. So the thing is, I lose glasses every day, and often I find them right there on top of my head. You'd think I would have checked before continuing with this video that the glasses weren't on the top of my head where they always are. And in a few seconds, I'll discover them, just as I always do. Apologies for the shoddy production. Boy, butter goes in. All the butter goes in. Some white wine. Just a little. Oh, that's unsalted butter in there, so I'm going to give a good pinch of salt in there. And some pepper. And that's softening up nicely, so I'm going to add the shallots, garlic, and of course the parsley. I think this needs just a little glug more of wine to loosen this up a little bit, help it mix, and off we go. Whew, I think that's about it. Let's see how it looks. Very nice, beautiful light green colors. Everything's mixed together now. That looks really good. That's a classic garlic parsley butter in the French style. The aroma, I can't wait. All right, it's time to start the process of rescuing the snails, putting them to bed, and keeping them warm. Snails in the can from France like this are already cooked, so there's no need to do a slow cooking process to tenderize them before putting them in the oven, and they'll warm through pretty quickly, 10 to 15 minutes maximum at 400 degrees. Some recipes call for putting the snail in and just putting garlic butter on the top. That's okay, but I think it's better to start with the garlic butter in each little bed here, and then put the snail in and top with more garlic butter. That's how I do it, and it just bathes these snails in all of this beautiful flavor. And the idea here is to be pretty generous with this garlic butter. After all, this is the flavor. Let's go snail hunting. One little snail in each hole here in the dish is all it needs. Push the snails down to make room for another dollop of that beautiful garlic butter. By the way, this snail cooking pan here, or pot, was not expensive, and you can find them online. If you don't want to do that, you could put them on a mushroom cap in the oven and they will cook just fine. All right, big dollop of garlic butter on each snail. To me, that looks and smells fantastic. I can't wait to see if we've nailed it here. Now it's into the oven. A French chef once told me that they're done when the butter sings. So when the butter is bubbling and you can hear it, they're done. I'm gonna keep an eye on them. I'm thinking about 10 minutes, but we'll check them. And once the butter's sizzling and everything's really well cooked in there, we're gonna try them. And here it is. It certainly was singing when I took it out of the oven. It is smelling incredible. I'm so excited. Got some baguette here. If you know what's good for you, you're gonna dip the baguette in this little pool of beautiful garlic flavor once that snail has been extracted. I like to just tear this bread. I don't want any fancy cutting going on. I need some small pieces to fit in here. But the moment of truth, is it anywhere close to what I tasted in Paris? I hope so. I miss that flavor. Goodness me, that looks so good and smells delicious. Bon appetit. If that's not exact, if that's not a match for what I tasted in Paris, it's so close. I can't tell the difference. This has turned out so good. I'm so happy. I'm going to start cooking these a lot more often. But let's dip and see how the garlic tastes on a good baguette. Yep. Yep. Let's go again. So tender and so mild in flavor, but the garlic, of course, comes through very strong and so rich. If you've enjoyed the video or you want to see more, please do subscribe and hit that bell. We'd love to see you back here next time. You're always welcome right here in the kitchen.